How's it going, gringos and aspiring Latinos? My name is Justin Thompson, and I am a gringo. And today what I want to do is I want to compare 3 different apps that allow you to meet native Spanish speakers, and I want to kind of give a little bit of a comparison of each one of them. Now, I'm going to give these in order of the way that I discovered them, not necessarily in order of importance or in order of which is better or anything like that, but I will kind of give a little bit of a conclusion at the end, so stick around for that. So the first one that I want to talk about is iTalki, and then later on I'm going to talk about HelloTalk and Tandem. So 3 different things that all do things just slightly differently, but they're all great ways to meet native Spanish speakers. Now, the first one is iTalki, and they don't hide the fact that the main goal of their site is so that you would go on pay to take lessons, and make sure that you're paying to take lessons with native Spanish speakers. Now, can you meet other people without having to pay? Absolutely. The first person I ever met that I still talk to this day, I met him probably 2 months ago on iTalki, and we still have conversations. But so iTalki is a little bit different than, say, HelloTalk or Tandem, where you can actually go in and search for people to talk to. They want you to go in and search for people to have lessons with, and search for people that you can pay to have lessons with, and that's totally fine. They don't hide that fact that it's their business, it's their model, it's what they do. And I think it's a good one because, they want you to engage with somebody who is going to teach you, and not just somebody who might be able to help you with your Spanish, but somebody that is qualified and is ready and willing to do so because you are paying them. Now, you can also find other people and not have to pay. Generally what you do is you go through and you find people that you go in and look through kind of some of the messages or the posts or the publications that people put into their own profile. And you can kind of look through those and see what people are saying. But it's hard to just go in there and search for somebody that you want to have a conversation with. It's more of like, what did this person post? And most often the posts are very, very similar. They kind of follow this similar format of, hi, my name is Justin. I'm from the United States. I'm a native English speaker. I would love to help you with your Spanish if you're willing to help me with I'd love to help you with your English if you're willing to help me with my Spanish. And oftentimes the posts look just like that. So you can find people to speak with in that way. But I find that if you want to do something for free, there are a couple of other apps that are a little bit more effective in helping you do that. And one more thing about iTalki, I didn't find it super helpful for as a platform itself for having chats with people. I just didn't feel like it was extremely helpful in doing certain things that some of these other apps will do. So we usually, with people that I met on iTalki, I jumped off of iTalki into either WhatsApp or Telegram in order to speak with them. So, that's kind of another difference that we'll get into a little bit more when we talk about HelloTalk and Tandem. So up next is HelloTalk, and this one was recommended to me by somebody else as I was getting started with my language learning. This person saw one of my YouTube videos and then was like, hey, join us on HelloTalk. We have a group in there where we talk about daily Bible reading and things like that. So I was like, okay, that's cool. I've never heard of HelloTalk, but it looks like something that could be cool. I jumped in there and immediately I was hooked on it because you could meet with all kinds of people all over the world to have conversations with in Spanish. And you have to be willing to have those conversations, but you can do voice messages, you can do text messages, you can do actual phone calls through the app. You can translate through the app, although you have a limited number of translations if you only go for the free version. If you pay for the upgrade, then you'd have unlimited translations throughout. But I don't find it super difficult to just copy paste, take it over to Google Translate, and all is well, right? So generally that's not a big issue for me. It takes about 4 seconds to do that. And then but I've met with a lot of people on HelloTalk, and the great thing about it is I love using voice messages because it's a way for me to hear, it's a way for me to speak and practice both of these things, but not with the pressure of like a video call, or not with the pressure of an actual phone call where I have to respond in the moment. If I didn't hear something correctly, I can just replay the message and listen to it again, and hopefully I can get it after a couple of plays. And if not, then I just ask the person, hey, sorry, I didn't understand you, and could you repeat that and do it a little bit slower? But it's starting to get me used to speaking, practicing my actual speaking, and practicing listening to the language from different accents, and it's not just, watching the same person on YouTube all the time or something like that. I can have like 5 or 6 different people that I'm talking to, and all have different accents, different tones of voice, things like that. And it's extremely, extremely helpful. Really, really like HelloTalk. It's also got a community post kind of feature to it, like a feed, kind of like Facebook, where people can go in there and post about what's going on, and people can respond. You can follow them, all this kind of thing. So that's really cool. I just recently posted on there like a tongue twister, and I was wondering if anybody can actually say this tongue twister, and I thought it was kind of funny to put that on there, and got some responses back, and people were like, I'm a native speaker and this is hard. So I thought it was really cool to kind of get that engagement like that. So that is something that HelloTalk offers. Now, one of the things about HelloTalk is, sometimes you can get a little bit of kind of that dating app vibe, and definitely not something I'm going for, because I'm just there to learn the language. So you kind of get a little bit of that vibe, but overall the experience on HelloTalk has been extremely, extremely good. I can meet a ton of people on HelloTalk, and it's been really great using it over the last month or so. And finally, I want to talk about Tandem, which is very similar to HelloTalk. In fact, when I got in there, I was like, what's even the difference between these two apps? Is there a difference at all? They both have a free version. They both have paid versions, which allow you to do a little bit more. Both of which you can go in there and search for people to talk to from specific countries. You can kind of narrow your search to specific countries. You can narrow them both in HelloTalk and Tandem. You can narrow them down by whether you want to speak to somebody from Colombia or Mexico, or a combination, or both, or whatever. But if there's a certain kind of dialect that you want to learn, or from a certain area of the world, then you can do that in both apps. So what was the actual difference between Tandem and HelloTalk? Well, in HelloTalk, I feel like there is a little bit more that it gives you. In HelloTalk, it gives you the community post stuff where you can go in there. It's kind of like a little Facebook feed. Tandem does not have that. They both have the ability to do voice messages. They both have the ability to translate text messages. A limited number of times for the unpaid version, and unlimited times for a paid version. The paid versions are about the same price. Not a huge difference there. And then I think one of the differences, though, is that with HelloTalk, you have to pay for the upgrade in order to do like video calls. In Tandem, you don't have to pay for the upgrade. That comes with it. You don't have the feed in Tandem that you can use to type stuff into. They both have the ability to translate, like I said, a limited number of times. Let's see, what does Tandem offer that HelloTalk doesn't? With Tandem, you can actually do voice messages that are longer than a minute. You can do them almost an unlimited, I'm assuming an unlimited amount of time. I know I've done messages up to 3 or 4 minutes. Voice messages up to 3 or 4 minutes. In HelloTalk, it cuts you at a minute. So that's a little frustrating if you aren't quite done with what you want to say, but and you're coming up on that 1 minute. It's a little frustrating, especially when I first started using it, because I didn't know it cut me at a minute. So one time I just kind of kept talking, but then I realized after I listened to it, or after I saw the actual little waveform thing, that it stopped at a minute, and I was like, there's no way I was only talking for a minute on that thing. So then I went back and listened to it, and I was like, darn it cut me. So that was a little frustrating at first. Not terrible if you know that you have a minute of talk time, but if you just want to be able to continuously talk into these voice messages, then Tandem is very helpful for that. So wrapping it up, which of the 3 platforms do I actually like better? iTalki got me started, and that was just because that was the only one I knew about at the time, and it got me started. And like I said, I'm still talking to the very first person that I met on iTalki. I'm still talking to him to this day. So we had a lot in common. We still chat, and it's really, really cool. But HelloTalk, I think, offers a lot more if you want to be able to connect with a bunch of Spanish speakers who are also looking to do language exchange. Tandem, very, very similar. I don't know if one is better than the other. If you like to post things kind of similarly to Facebook, then HelloTalk offers that, your mementos, your community wall kind of thing, your Facebook feed of sorts. But if that's not something you're into, then not really helpful. Tandem, obviously better because you can do longer voice messages and you can do video calls if you want to. That is not offered in HelloTalk. For me, I think if I'm going to do a video call, I'm probably going to do it on Zoom or something like that. So I wouldn't necessarily use Tandem for that purpose. So for me, I think the better of the 3 is going to be HelloTalk because of the ability to do posts if you want to. It's something that I haven't done over the last month, but I just recently did one, and I thought it was kind of cool getting that engagement. And it was just something that I think is a really cool little thing that you can kind of get people to talk to. If they then they can kind of discover you that way, and you can discover other people by going through and looking what other people have posted. So yeah, for me, I think the winner in this is HelloTalk, but in general, HelloTalk and Tandem very, very similar. If you like those longer voice messages, go with Tandem. But that's all for today, guys. Hope that was helpful. Quick little review over those 3 different platforms. Again, if you're looking for paid lessons, or somebody's actually going to teach you lessons, and it's all about your language learning, then go with iTalki. So 3 different platforms, 3 different purposes, in my opinion. So that's all I've got for today. Hope that was helpful. See you guys next time.